So my topic is utilizing gamification to increase student choice and student engagement. I know, big surprise. So when I was in 4th grade, at the mere age of 9 years old, I decided that I didn't want to go to school. So yes, I became a 4th grade dropout. I was a cute 4th grade dropout, but I was a 4th grade dropout nonetheless. My mother tried her hardest to get me to go to school day after day. She would come in and try to entice me, but all of her efforts were wasted because I did not see the value in school. There was nothing that school taught me that I felt I couldn't learn at home. I would much rather stay at home all day and read my books and learn about the things that I thought were interesting and exciting instead of going to school. This actually went on for months. In fact, I'm not even sure how I passed the 4th grade because it began in March and I did not go back to school until the next year when I started 5th grade. Now I'm willing to admit that I was a bit of a problem child, so that may have played into it a little bit, but I think that there was a deeper issue here as well. Schools were designed to produce factory workers. This is a model that's been around for more than 100 years with little change. In fact, schools still follow what Paulo Freire calls the banking system of education. Students come in, they sit in neat little rows, and the teacher, while the students are quiet, the teacher fills their head with the content information and makes that deposit. Today I'm going to talk about an exciting idea that has really kind of developed over the last 10 years. It's been around longer than that, but it's starting to make its way into other arenas. It's incredibly engaging and offers student choice in a way that we haven't seen before. So I'm talking about the concept of gamification. Gamification is taking common gaming elements and using them in non-gaming contexts. A few examples of this would be badges, leaderboards, quests, and virtual goods. This idea of utilizing game elements to increase motivation has shown up in a variety of areas, which include business, healthcare, and marketing. You may recognize some different examples, such as frequent flyer miles, store loyalty points, and even wellness programs. I don't know about you, but I get extra money each year if I participate in my wellness program. Starbucks has actually become a master at utilizing game elements with their Starbucks card. Anybody in here have a Starbucks card? If so, you know what I'm talking about. For every $1 you spend, you get 2 points. After you acquire so many points, you get free items, whether it be a cake pop or a free drink. But then they also add on to that. So as great of a deal as that is, they also include extra challenges. So, for example, if you buy 3 caramel macchiatos within these certain dates, we're going to give you an extra 50 points. That's a free cake pop right there. So, anybody remember playing the Monopoly game at McDonald's? Yeah. This is another example of gamification that's been around since the 80s. While very low tech, it's still engaging. It got people into McDonald's purchasing more frequently than they normally would in hopes of earning free items and that $1 million, which never seem to see anyone win. Another example would be the prizes at the bottom of the cereal boxes. Anybody like look forward to getting that prize at the bottom? Yeah. I was actually never so excited to eat breakfast as I was when there was a prize in the bottom of that box. It may even surprise you to know that the military utilizes gamification elements. And this comes in the system of ranks and badges. These are elements of gamification. Scouting programs use them as well. Anyone in here use Bitmojis? Bitmojis? Yeah. I love my Bitmojis. I can use them to express exactly how I'm feeling when I message one of my friends or family members. Avatars are another gaming element. They can be utilized in many ways in our daily spaces. Adds exciting story narrative to it, and you've captured your students' attention. In a world where students are presented with games that make them the master of their world, it shouldn't be surprising that they don't share that same excitement with an institution that controls every part of their day and may lack in meeting their needs. So gamification is an excellent way to bridge this gap. Gamers will approach a new game with a growth mindset from the get-go. They will fail over and over and over again and come back for more. Imagine if your students were so into your class that they show up excited, ready to tackle the next new learning, slay the impossible dragons, and smash that next boss or test. Smash it into the ground. Gamification presents students with these opportunities, with the freedom to fail. It offers them a chance for immediate feedback. It requires them to continually be developing their strategic and critical thinking skills. And it can be applied at any level of learning and at any content level. Jane McGonigal, the author of Reality is Broken, says that gamification fosters a learning environment where students get to know secret knowledge, turn their intellectual strengths into superpowers, tackle epic challenges, and fail without fear. It is also incredibly fun for the teacher who gets to design their own class game. They get to create their own story of their classroom. Imagine, instead of going to foods class every day, you show up to the set of MasterChef, or you enter the world of Harry Potter in English class. The great thing about gamification is that there's no one right way to implement it. It can be utilized in a number of manners. You can go all out and add as many gaming elements as you want, or you can start small and add a few small strategic elements. With the technology that's available today, there are a number of ways that you can manage gamification within your classroom. If your district utilizes a learning management system, such as Canvas or Blackboard, you could push out your gaming elements through that platform. If your district doesn't have a learning management system, you can create a Google Sites or a Weebly website to bring in the technology aspect to manage leaderboards and badges, a place to house your quests that you've created. I want to kind of end by telling you about a recent email that I got from a student. But first you have to understand a little bit about Grimvale. See, when my students come to class, they don't come to Miss Belden's ELP room. They leave school behind and they enter the land of Grimvale. Grimvale is an 18th century Victorian-esque land with technology that shouldn't exist. This technology runs on steam. You may have heard of steampunk. Our land is ruled by our benevolent Queen Adelaide. And our land has 4 guilds, the Guilds of Grimvale, who are tasked with protecting Grimvale from any evil threats that may come up. Last year, our queen had a new advisor, Cassius. Cassius was insidiously trying to overthrow our queen. Over the course of the year, the guilds worked very hard to defeat Cassius, and they were able to overthrow him and drive him underground. However, he has not disappeared. His devotees are currently wreaking havoc in Grimvale while he is in hiding. So, back to this email. I received an email from one of my 7th graders. So not only is she new to my class, she's also new to Grimvale. She's had about a month to experience the backstory, to experience the gaming elements. And in this email, she was proposing a project that she wants to do. And this project was, she wants to create a movie with some of her friends outside of class. And the premise of the movie is that 2 girls find themselves, after having a conflict and regretting it, they find themselves in Grimvale. And Cassius receives word that there are these 2 new girls in Grimvale. And so he tries to kidnap them and get them onto his side. I personally thought this was a brilliant idea. She came up with it all on her own. She's going to be utilizing different technology and learning different skills in writing a script and filming this movie. But the reason that I am sharing this story with you is not so much the fact that she came up with this idea, but the way that she ended her email. Her email was to ask for my permission that she utilize Grimvale as the premise of her movie. But she ended her email with, "If it's not okay, I can come up with another idea." And you could just tell in reading that sentence how disappointed she was going to be if I said no, she couldn't use Grimvale as her basis for creating this movie. Of course, I told her I loved the idea and I'm excited to see what she produces with that. Schools can be fun and engaging learning environments. In fact, I believe it's absolutely necessary for our students to know that when they are at school, they can have fun and learn at the same time. That's what they do outside of school. And as we have all learned in our cohort, we have much more fun when we bring in some of those exciting elements, such as the I would, or ethnography of the Iowa State Fair, or even forcing our classmates to create new songs and then sing them in front of us. So let's think about making gamification or even adding just small elements into your classroom to help bring that engagement to your students and offer them a little bit more choice.